We're back. Okay. I need a drink. Oh, I got water. All right, we're back. We don't know what happened. Suddenly YouTube went down. It wasn't us.
That was me. Do we have James back again, or is that Digger? Or
No, you're the one there.
I'm
I
just
can't see shit there. Stealing wood and then he's chopping it all fucking night.
Hello again, everybody.
Is there an everybody?
There's a single everybody. I'm gonna assume possibly James, but till they speak, no one knows.
What's happened is that
Oh, it says we got 3 people.
people got to speak.
Hello.
Somehow YouTube knocked offline or something. It wasn't us. It was YouTube. It went away and then came back. They probably gave up on us.
Yeah, we got 2 people still strong, but people got to speak. That way we know who's here.
Well, maybe we'll just shut her down then for the night. Not really getting anywhere.
Maybe.
Put all my computer stuff back in the tent. Be done with it. Oh,
We just went up a viewer. Don't be shy. You can ask questions. Or just say hi. Tell us where you're from.
There's somebody.
Oh, Dave. Dave B from Florida.
Oh, from Tampa, Florida.
Hey.
Hey,
Welcome
Dave.
back.
Oh, there's James.
Ah, James. Technical difficulties. YouTube did something screwy. So James just asked
We
what
couldn't
happened.
connect to YouTube all of a sudden, and then it came back after. Can't tell you what happened there exactly. It wasn't on our end anyway.
Oh, it was all the pizza talk, James says.
Yeah, maybe.
It could be. You never know.
No.
So what's going on down in Florida right now?
It's hot.
It's sticky. And hot and sticky. Still hot.
Still hot. Yeah. Figured
Yeah.
that was coming. No hurricanes yet, I guess.
James says he wishes he was there. He's going there in November, though.
November.
Right?
Hunting? November's hunting season here.
Yeah.
We get a lot of Americans that go to Northern Ontario. They come from all over the place, but most of them come from Minnesota and places like that.
Yeah, but you're giving up hunting season to go to Florida? Well,
No,
James said
James is coming here to go. I was saying that if he's coming here in November, he's likely going hunting.
no, he's going to Florida in November.
I thought he was here, and I thought James was in Florida.
No. Dave's in Florida. James is just down here at pizza place.
Who said it was coming here in November?
No, James said he wishes he was there in Florida,
Oh, okay, I got it all mixed
but he's
up.
going there in November.
I thought
Yeah.
Dave said he was coming here
No.
in November, and I'm going, what do you, that's why I asked if he was coming here hunting, because a lot of Americans come up here in November for hunting.
Well, I'm glad you think we're funny. James just said you guys are hilarious. Hey,
That's all.
at least we can amuse you.
You go up north, Northern Ontario, like real Northern Ontario.
Yeah.
It's lodge after lodge after lodge, just full of Americans every hunting season.
Oh yeah.
It's where they make their money. That 1 month in November is where they make all their money. The lodges are open at other dates, but November is where the big money's at.
Dave B says he's never been to Canada.
No, not yet.
You gotta come up here and experience it at least once.
Enough of us go down there to Florida, or at least until recently. People are a little bit pissed off up here, but not at regular Americans, just stupid government stuff. But usually we get all the people from Minnesota and Wisconsin and Michigan and probably North Dakota. They all come into Canada for hunting every November. So lots of Americans. And then, even in the summer, fishermen, lots of Americans come to the lodges, to the fishing and hunting lodges to go fishing.
Oh yeah.
Tons of them. Although I don't know why. I mean, some of the best fishing you're going to have is in Minnesota.
James says not stopping me from going there, down to Florida.
James, yeah, a lot stopping me from going there. It's one word: eat. I don't feel like getting harassed by ice.
El Migra ended up sending us back.
No, they haven't been. Like that girl from BC, she got sent to Texas for 3 weeks before they finally sent her home.
Right.
But she was sitting in a jail cell for 3 weeks, totally innocent of everything. She hadn't done a thing wrong. She was just they didn't like the way she looked. I don't know, but anyways, they decided that she was not doing something right. And when those border people say you did something wrong, you can't argue with them. You don't have rights. Your
No.
rights disappear the minute you try to cross the border or leave the country. Period. I mean, border agents have more power than regular law people. You don't mess with them when you cross the border. You answer their questions quick, succinctly, and without any other shit.
Yep.
Just straight answer their questions. That's it. If you start yabbing away or jabbering away about how's your wife doing and all that, they're going to pull you over and start yanking your chain. They're not there to be your friend. Trust me. Right now it's hurricane season in Florida, or at least it's coming up on it now. So I mean, already one hurricane's gone through it, missed Florida, missed most of everything, thankfully.
Yeah. Dave says immigration services have been heavy in Florida. Ice down there.
Well, they've got a lot of people there illegally that came over from Cuba and other places, and then they come into Texas, and then one of the first places they run to is Florida. So I understand. I'm not saying it's good or bad. I'm not there, so I can't say. But I mean, if they cross the border illegally and they're there illegally, well, okay, you're not supposed to be there. You're going to get arrested.
Yup. James says got an ATV for next season.
But I'm not trying to move there or live there illegally. So, and I'm a dual citizen, but I can still get harassed because I got Canadian and the American.
Oh, James is saying get an ATV for next season.
Who? What?
Probably me because of the bike.
That's what I've been trying to tell him, James.
I'm stuck paying for this thing for 5 years at least. Unless some people want to subscribe to my
I still
YouTube
think
channel.
you went to your dealer. Does
pay
your
for
dealer
that.
sell Grizzlies?
So they sell anything that's Yamaha up there.
But
So-
do they sell Grizzlies?
Well, they sell ATVs,
So they sell Grizzlies.
probably.
Well, they wouldn't. If you walked in nice and shined back up the way it looked like before,
I would end up losing my ass on it. I would.
They wouldn't let you trade up to a
Oh,
Grizzly.
they'd knock me down $3,500 off of what I paid for it or what I'm paying for
Are you
it.
sure?
Oh, I'm dead positive, man.
They said that.
Dude, anything walks off the
Did
lot,
they say that?
I'd have to sell it privately.
Did they say that?
No, but the thing is, if they're not going to
I'd-
give me the seven
I'd
grand
be-
back,
I'd be asking them because they want you to spend more money on that Grizzly.
yeah, but
They
they're not.
want you to spend that money.
I was looking at the price of one of them. It was $8,500, and I agree it would have been a wicked price to pay. But the thing is, though, is they're not going to give me my 7 grand back just to do that.
You don't until you ask them. You don't know what the trade up value is. The Yamaha has good trade in value and stuff. So I would be asking them. They'll probably tell you what you're saying, or they may not, but you don't know until you ask them because you've not asked them. I would be asking them, especially Yamaha, because they're good. They're good to their customers.
James is saying get an Argo. Actually, come to think of it, I think they sell Argo down at
I got to be. Anyway, I'm a Can-Am guy now. I used to be a guy. Yay! Starting now, I'm a Can-Am guy now. After this Can-Am, I wouldn't drive anything but the Can-Am. 650 Outlander. I don't think I could own a machine much better than that. At least for me, anyway. It's perfect for me. It's good and big. I feel proper on it. I don't feel too big for it. It takes anything I throw at it, and it doesn't even breathe hard. Like I throw my best. Been throwing my best at this bike, and this bike doesn't even. It's like, fuck, he hasn't given me anything to play with. That's what my bike's attitude is.
James said I am too, but the price is better for an Argo.
Oh yeah, compared to the Can-Am. Oh hell yeah, Can-Ams are expensive.
Definitely too rich for
But
my blood
then,
for the Can-Am.
in that case, with the Can-Am, you get what you pay for. I mean, at least the old, I don't know about the new ones, but the ones that are like 2020 and back, their uh, their resale value is very, very high. So that tells you something's going right there. And they're very hard to find used ones. Like when you go on to Facebook Marketplace, you'll see Polaris after Polaris after Polaris after Polaris, just like millions of them. And it's like, as soon as I see everybody selling their Polarises, that tells me the bike's a piece of junk. So, and the ones that had the least used ones for sale was Can-Am, Grizzly, and the Kawasaki. I think Kawasaki Brute Force was hard to find them.
That James says his 700 was 10,000 new. That was your Argo?
Well, Can-Am Outlander 700 is probably well over that. And that's just the 700, not the 850 or the 1000. Those, I mean, the price goes astronomical. And some people have said to me that the newer Can-Ams, there's been problems.
Yeah,
That the
James
year
says,
that I got was the perfect range of years is when they had some really hot years for decent machinery.
yeah, James says his 500 was a 6,500 new. Oh, that's even more expensive than the one Yamaha I saw
500 is too small for me.
at Brantford Motorcycle. They had a Yamaha 4x4 there. It was, I think it was 78, but it was like new old stock. It was 2023 model with zero hours on it.
Who designs the Argos? The Chinese themselves, or is that American designed and then manufactured in China? Is that what's going on with Argo? Because they used to be an American company out of Minnesota or Wisconsin or somewhere up
Used to,
there.
yeah, I think it was Wisconsin. I think. Don't quote me on that though.
I know, I'm sure it was American Midwest is where Argo was originally from.
I think they developed it there for themselves in north of them.
They never caught on here.
Not in Ontario, at least.
Maybe now they're starting to catch on 6-wheel or 8-wheel vehicles, but when they first came out, like when my uncle had one in Michigan, they didn't catch on. They weren't catching on at all. They were two, or you were constantly repairing them. Chain drives, like that, nothing was reliable. That was the problem. It was too early for the technology. The technology finally caught up with them, and now they're probably easier to maneuver, easier to, all that stuff.
Oh, my cousin swears by his.
I would assume more reliable. I would hope, anyways.
My cousin swears by his. He likes it.
I can't say until I ride one. I got on that Can-Am the first time I rode it. I knew right away. It was like instantly. I knew this is a good bike. And then I went and pushed it, and then pushed it some more, and then pushed it even more, and then accidentally pushed it way faster than I should have been going. And the bike just handled it like, you're not giving me anything to play with. That was the bike's attitude back towards me. It's like, you old man aren't going to push me to my limits. So I'm like, yeah, wait till you fucking see. Anyway, I have yet to find its limit. Can't even ride at 95 kilometers an hour, and I can't even run it wide open throttle. I've had it up to 140 kilometers an hour, that fucking thing. And I'll never do it ever again. 95 on the trails, I'll never do that again. That was an accident, though. I didn't even know the bike was doing 95. That was the problem, was the bike was handling it all so easily. It just made it seem like I was going half the speed. I thought I was doing 50, 60 kilometers an hour. Look down, it's like 95. I had to give myself a shake. And that's when I realized I'm looking by and the trees are just whizzing by me on that trail.
James says they're Taiwanese.
What is?
Probably the Argos.
Argos?
Yeah.
Well, Taiwanese, that's a good thing. That's not Chinese.
Made in Taiwan.
No, Taiwan is good stuff nowadays. Quality. They make all the world. They make all the chips for the world, like computer chips, amongst other things. No, if that's made in Taiwan, to me, that's a plus. Taiwan's nothing like China at all. It's a modern. China is like still kind of like a half put in the 20th century and partly in the 21st century, and based on slave labor. But the technology isn't high. It's just all copying. But Taiwan, that's a different ballgame. Taiwan is like Korea.
Argo itself is made in New Hamburg, but
New Hamburg, where? Germany? No, Hamburg, Germany. New Hamburg, Pennsylvania? Where's New Hamburg?
I think it's in Pennsylvania. Is it in Pennsylvania?
Why do people say they're Chinese? They're not Chinese. They're Taiwanese. They're two different places. China can say whatever it wants about Taiwan.
New Hamburg, 20 minutes from Kitchener.
What?
They have an Argo plant right here in Ontario?
Even Jonathan at Sauble Beach Motorsports told me they were Chinese. Because I asked him, I said, where are they making them now? And he said China. That's how I found out about it originally.
James says, yeah, they make them right here. The 6 and 8 wheelers.
Why would John tell me that? That doesn't make sense.
Oh, yeah, the ATVs, not the Argos.
What's made here then?
Which ones are made here? Are the 6 and 8 wheelers made here, or the ATVs? It might be the ATVs that are made right here in New Hamburg.
We'll let them answer. Just find out if they make where they make the ATVs, and then you get the answer for the other one.
Oh, the 6 and 8 wheelers are made here in New Hamburg near Kitchener there.
Okay.
Okay.
But who owns them now? Taiwan?
No.
Oh, okay. Are they not the same Argo? So where are the four-wheelers made then? And why are they separate like that? That doesn't make any sense. If they're the same company, why not manufacture the four-wheelers here in Canada too if they're going to have a place? Or vice versa, why not manufacture them all from China and ship them here? It's cheaper. Less quality. We know that. Unless it's Taiwan, then that's a different story all over again. I mean, we used to think Japanese stuff was garbage, like Yamaha, Hondas, and all that. Now, I mean, Japanese cars, Japanese motorcycles are considered the highest quality in the world.
Come on, hardcore American people.
So Taiwan might have been junk at one time. They were. Made in Taiwan was always the big joke, but it's changed now. Korea, same thing. Korea used to be, oh my God, Korean stuff. Now Korean stuff is high quality stuff.
There's still your hardcore people who like their American
The
stuff.
hardcore people don't count. I'm talking about the people when they come back to quality and they do reviews and everything, and they tell you that for 15 years in a row, a Hyundai Elantra is the best car made for whatever its class is. That's end of story. It doesn't matter what a certain amount of people. Those Elantras are selling by the millions, and the people are hanging on to them. So it's the same thing with ATVs, everything that's manufactured.
I don't know, a Harley owner beg to differ for the most part. But even they're Kawasaki now.
Okay, listen, all right. You know what? Then you can find one example out of the general. People in general, okay, Harley owners. There's like 1% motorcycle owners are fucking Harley Davidson owners. Okay, so they're like a very small percentage, but the general public, the millions of people that buy all this crap, okay, when they're buying Elantras a year after year after year after year, and they're getting high ratings in consumer magazines and everything, it doesn't matter what the Harley guy's got to say. They're 1%. The other 99% that are buying this stuff, and South Korean stuff is high quality now, just like Japan is, but they didn't used to be. Like this Yamaha thing back in the 70s, I mean, it was Jap scrap. I mean, that's what we used to call them, rice burners.
Yeah,
You know,
but
and
the thing
so
is even
now,
the only reason
now the
this thing
general
still
public,
exists, though, is
you know,
'cause
you
it's
mentioned
70s.
Yamaha to the general public, okay, and they'll go tell you that's a good motorcycle, it's a good motor, it's reliable, or it's this or it's that, and that's the majority, not this little 1% minority, or even less, 0.5% for Indian motorcycles, or whatever have you. But I mean, South Korea makes decent cars now. They didn't when the first Hyundai ponies came out. They were junk.
Yeah, but they were
My mom and dad,
$3,500 pieces of crap.
my
That
mom and
were
dad
built to
had
be scrapped.
my mom and dad had one of the very first Hyundai ponies in Canada, and it was a piece of crap right from the day they got the thing. But now you can buy a Hyundai, and I mean, they're some of the best well-made cars on the planet. So,
I've had a pony, an accent, and a scoop. All three left a
So-
bad sour taste in my mouth. But
but that's you. That's,
I've also
in
worked
general,
for
that's not the
Wolverton
way it
rail
is.
yards moving the new ones off
You
the
know.
line, and I'd buy a brand new one.
they're considered high-quality cars. They're well-built cars. Are they a Mercedes? Well, no. Mercedes is a different class of car. For a general all-round used cars, South Korea are good cars now. Chinese cars, I don't think are probably very good. I don't know. I don't see too many on my roads, but I mean, it's like I said, at one time, a Toyota was considered junk. A Honda was considered junk. All that stuff was considered junk. Datsuns, which eventually became Nissan. Now those are some of the finest names in cars, you know, for reliability and for the general public. You know, Joe and Mary Palooka and their 3.5 kids. You see, are they talking at all?
Not yet.
So, I mean, for me, Ram makes the best pickup truck. Blah 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 blah. But that's just me. But I mean, you know, at one time a Toyota pickup truck was a joke. Now it's a serious truck. It's, you know, they're well made. The Japanese is high quality stuff, just like Taiwan stuff has become very high quality now.
Yeah, but even when people thought they were a joke, they were proving themselves even.
You know, the last
so.
time that people used to think of made in Taiwan, it was a joke, was like back in the 80s. Like it was us that used to make the jokes about made in Taiwan. I haven't heard that shit in well over 20, 30 years about made in Taiwan stuff, considering they make all the computer chips in the world. You know, that's why China wants to take them over, not for anything else than to take over their chip manufacturing capabilities.
Thing is, I think most of the time is people are afraid. People are afraid to try shit because I know. Using one example, my father swore on his grave that he would never drive a Japanese car until 1991 when he touched over
You're making
1985
my
Toyota City Kit
you
GTS.
just made my entire point.
But
Because
that
when
was in the
he
90s
was
and
young,
in
and
85.
when he was young, and I was that age, well, Japanese cars were not reliable. They were junky and considered the low end of things. That borrowing a big American car was what you wanted. Chevy, you know, a big Chevy in the yard, you know, or whatever.
But
I mean,
he went and bought one and fell in love with it, and it was
as
one of
I
the
said,
most reliable cars.
You made my point.
Back then, even it was a reliable
In
car.
1990, they were already
No,
considered
in
reliable.
'85, it was an '85 Celica.
Better than they were in the 70s, but there was still a lot of bad blood against Japanese cars in the 80s because they were still living off the old reputation of the junk in the 70s and the 60s.
Well, yeah, that was the problem. But
But they started to catch up pretty quick, and then they passed us. They became higher quality than American vehicles, and that's why GM and Ford and Chrysler had to pull their shirts up, their pants up to get their shit together to make stuff that could compete. And that, not just that, but price wise as well. But the same thing now is when the first Korean cars first started coming here, it was like, oh my God, what the worst pieces of junk. Now, I mean, you see them all over the road, Hyundai everywhere.
Yeah.
And there's a reason for that because people, learn that eventually they got their shit together. They make a decent car. The average person buys it. Well, then there's a million average persons, 10 million, 20 million, whatever. And it's not just them. I mean, it's other people. Subaru is another one.
Well, when I was working the Wolverton rail
Kia. I
yards,
mean, all
Kia
these
and
companies had shitty cars when they first started. Now they're not shitty cars.
well, Kia, Hyundai, and Genesis are all basically the same company, anyways.
Well, whatever.
But
South Korean.
yeah, they're all part of the Korean Motor Group. But no, first run when I was running them off the Wolverton rail yards, it's the only thing that actually made me want to buy another one. I had 3 Hyundais and they were all garbage, but the newer ones, well, they were good. But I only got to drive them off the rail car and then onto a transport truck to drop off to other customers. But comfortable cars, I've rented a couple and driven them. Too. Good handling, comfortable vehicles for the price.
I'm not saying I would own any of these cars because they don't make. I mean, I'm a Chrysler guy like your grandpa was with his things, but for me, the I just always had Chryslers. I mean, my very first vehicle at 16 years old was a Chrysler. So, Dodge, more precisely.
Oh, James said, "Yep, he has a Palisade, another Hyundai, or yeah, the Palisade's a Hyundai. It's a big SUV, isn't it? Similar to the Kia Telluride. Yeah,
Eventually, China's going to get their shit together and make really high quality products, just like Japan did after 30 years of doing it over and over again until they start making high quality shit that people want to buy. China's going to do that. That's why America's worried,
yeah.
is because they are, they can compete with the junk kind of right now. But when China starts to get their shit together like Japan did, well, it's game over at that point. They got a billion people. You're not going to beat a billion people that work for nothing, you know. And if they're creating quality products, and they're headed that way, I mean, there's no doubt. They've got more electric cars on the road than we do. Chinese electric cars. People in China are driving electric cars all over the place there. And they're saying that they're better than the ones coming out of the American guys, which really bothers me because I wanted the electric Ram pickup truck, but they can't even get their shit together to release it, let alone release something that's going to be reliable and good. But 10 years from now, people will be talking about Xinhua cars being some of the finest cars made out there. And Japan will be the one trying to play catch up and trying to compete. And South Korea and all the other big, manufacturer people. It's coming. The way it's going to go.
And by then, the North American car companies are making them, the North American cars will be extinct.
Same mistakes are being made again. The American manufacturers got fat and lazy, and they thought, "Oh, Japan can never catch up to us," and then Japan did, and then Japan passed them. So then they got their shit together, and they stayed at least in the zone. Now we're all doing it to China, and one of these mornings, you're gonna wake up and you're gonna start to see Chinese car sales. Oh my God, they doubled in the last 4 years. Why? Well, because their vehicles have become super reliable. They're super this and they're super that. Just like the Japanese cars became in the 70s, 80s, and then into the 90s, and then they took over everything.
Well, I think some of the smarter things that some of the North American car companies did do that was actually a smart thing to do was they teamed up with the Japanese. We'll just press the button and turn the knob to dim it.
Turn what?
The power button. It has a knob.
This button.
Oh, why is it flashing? It shouldn't be flashing. That battery's fresh. Press the button once. Wait till it comes on with full brightness, and then dial it down.
With the push down or just
no dial? Spin the button. Yeah.
How does it look?
I'd go down. Right about there. But no, I think one of the
That's a
smartest
little
things
dark,
North
but-
American companies did is they teamed up with Japanese companies because, like with Ford with Mazda.
Oh,
Ford for
Mercury's
years,
making engine blocks still for Mercury outboards. I just found this out today.
yeah, but that's the only thing Mercury's doing.
But that still doesn't matter. Mercury is making outboards still, but their Yamaha's making their engine blocks for them.
Yep.
And it's a continuing deal. The deal didn't end like I thought it did.
But I know feeling with welder's flash right now. Oh. Hold on. I'm gonna actually like stare at this thing. Dave B says I've had my Dodge Ram 1500 for over 10 years, got 100k miles, never had a problem with it.
What is it?
It's Dodge.
Oh, I'm not saying anything bad about Dodge. I'm a Dodge guy. I started when I was 16.
But even Dodge teamed up with Mitsubishi for so many years to do their stuff.
Yeah.
And actually, I was they're not Fiat now; they're something else. But Fiat was working with them, an Italian manufacturer, and then before that, even it was Mercedes Benz, right? So, but Ford worked with Mazda. GM was working with Toyota for a while on a couple of their vehicles. My pickup truck is, for a lack of better words, half Japanese, half North American. It's a Ford Ranger that was built between 93 and 2011. May as well be a Mazda B series pickup, right? So, I agree, James. I'd take any new truck at this point right now. The new Fords, the new Dodge. No, you know what? The GMs, some of the new GMs, those ones with those turbo 4 cylinders in the full size. I'll take a turbo 4 cylinder in a Canyon or a Colorado, but I won't touch one of the brand new Silverados with the 4 cylinders. There's something about that just weirds me out, having a 4 cylinder in a full size pickup truck like that. The 2.7's got power and all. My buddy's got a Canyon right now, and he loves it. But I've heard bad things about people trying to tow with the 4 cylinders and then blowing them up and making a mess of them. Ugh. But a lot of the newer manufactured stuff is kind of going south for a lot of it. Anyways, like Ford's got problems with the cam phasers still with the new Coyote 5-liter V8.
Fords have one problem only.
What's that?
They're Fords.
Oh, don't even get me started, man. I've owned everything under the sun, and I love my Fords.
Fix or repair daily, found on road dead.
First on race day.
No, they're not.
I'll take my 302 Windsor blocked Fox chassis Mustang any day of the week.
Is that easier on your eyes now?
Yeah, I'd say so. I've had an 87 Camaro, and I've had an 87 Mustang. I'll take the Mustang any day of the week because the fact it was much more comfortable to drive. The Camaro just sat too low. Dashboard was too high when you're sitting low. Just, eh. My brother loved those Camaros, though, and the Trans Ams from the third generation. Well, Fox chassis Mustang, one of the sharpest handling cars used for racing still to this day. Drag racers still trust those cars.
Wouldn't know. I don't play with sports cars. I play with trucks.
And as you can tell,
Ford can't make a truck worth spit. Never could.
87 Econoline E350.
Silverado's okay.
I'm
not a Chev guy, but I could just about swallow a Silverado. Definitely over a Ford any day.
I'll choose my Ford for a North American choice.
See you on the side of the road as I pass by.
Not if I get my old OBS. 302 Windsor power, baby. I actually had a 94 F-150, and it was one of the most reliable pickup trucks I've ever owned. 302 V8, 5-speed manual transmission, 308 gearing in the back. She was a dog taking off, but get that 302 screaming down the highway, I'd be sitting about 1,800 RPM at 110 kilometers an hour. Now, if you give me a Dodge of the second generation, has to have a 12 valve Cummins 6-cylinder in it,
Still a Ford.
diesel. I'd take a diesel Dodge from a second generation. But if I'm going to have a Chevy, it's got to be from the 80s.
I'll stick with Cummins for my diesels. What the fuck did I do here? Grabbed a piece. So now I got a munchie. I smoked a little bit. Oh, shit. That's no good. That pizza's actually better cold.
Oh, I agree, James. He just said, I always have a love for the square body. Any of the square bodies in any way, shape, or form, the 80s style Chevys, 80s style Fords, even that first generation Dodge, those first gens with the 12 valve Cummins in them, can't kill them. The only thing is, there's a lot of people call them shipping crates because they rot, the bodies rot and the frames rot, but those engines will last forever. I'd still drive one though. Big old Dodge. Give me a Dodge with a Cummins and a 4-wheel drive. Ooh, I'm set.
This Hemi's not a bad motor. I'm happy with it so far.
Well, the 5.7 Hemi's not a bad motor.
No complaints there. Gas mileage is better than I thought it would be.
Grew up Ford. James says, grew up Ford. My dad had a Bronco. Like the one that like O.J. Simpson was cruising along on the highway in that chase. Those were actually kick-ass Broncos. Those were good Broncos. My cousin had one with a straight 6 and a 4-speed with the overdrive, so it was a 5-speed. Yeah, that's the one.
Nothing like a Ram Charger, buddy.
The Ram Charger gave up when they got rid of the first generation Dodge truck. They never built another one.
They didn't have to. The ones they built were fine.
Don't see enough of them on the road anymore. I'd love to see one. I'd love to see another Ram Charger, but
they're out there.
Not enough. But yeah, give me a Bronco all day long. My brother had a K5 Blazer back in the day with 6-bolt wheels, corporate 10 and 12 axles, Atlas transfer case. That was a crazy truck too, but it was also lifted like stupid. Needed a milk crate to get in the damn thing on 30. It was a big truck. It was not made for the road. The thing wandered all over the 400 series highway when we put a trip permit on it just to drive the thing home. He got scared, pulled over in Allison, took back roads, took us way longer than it should have to get home. But I'll tell you, everybody that saw the truck, they were like, "That's badass," and it was a badass truck. Oh, your dad was part of a 4x4 club? Oh, the Kitchener Waterloo 4x4 club. A couple of guys I used to drive around with in Brantford when I had my Jeep Cherokee belonged to that club too. They came from down that way, down to our way to go off-roading in some of our backwoods areas there, which I really wouldn't call backwoods. So, the Broncos did kick ass back then. Buddy of ours, Jay. Forget my buddy Jay's last name.
Like all Fords, they were all Russ.
I think his last name was Sarinsky or something like that. Starinsky, that's it. He had a yellow Ford Bronco, kept the top off it all the time. We'd just put it through every mud hole we could think about. That was a good truck. That had the Windsor 351. Yep. And 4-speed auto. Good truck, though.
What did they do? They had a DJ or something going last night, but tonight they
Sounds
got
like they
no
got a
DJ
band.
on
No,
a
it sounds like they
Saturday.
have a band.
No, last night they had like a DJ or
Yeah.
something going on. Tonight they haven't got anything really going on. It's quiet.
I heard them
That's
playing.
just somebody playing a big ghetto blaster like mine.
No, I heard them. It almost sounded like they were playing like
Do you
one of
hear it
the.
now?
Yeah, now, but like
That's what I'm saying. Last night at this time, they had the big DJ guy going and the ba boom, and people were coming up and down. Tonight, there's no partying. Like, how do you plan that for a Friday night and then not on Saturday night? What the hell? That's weird.
it is
I
what
thought
it
tonight
is.
would be the big night. Saturday night, this is when everybody, because Friday you're just getting in. You're tired from your long drive, blah 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 blah. So you get set up for Saturday night and then let loose on Saturday night. I don't know about kids today. They don't know how to party properly.
I tell you, they know how to get shit faced. So seen enough of them throw up.
It ain't hard just to take a bunch of bottles of booze and shove it down your throat like an idiot and fall down. I mean, there's no.
That's about the extent.
It's
of
the
their
guys
idea
that
of
can
fun.
do the same thing and still be walking.
That's about the extent of their fun, though, for the most part. Now,
You might as well just take a cat and fill it up full of alcohol. I mean, what's the point? I mean, the idea, at least in our was, is drink as much as you could, but still remain fucking vertical.
so I tell you, it
And
took
I
a
won't
lot.
say on YouTube, but I mean, back then people weren't exactly shy about drinking and driving. So
Mm, apparently, in my neck of the woods, people aren't shy about it either.
this was back in a time in an area where, like I said, if I was lucky, I would see a car in a whole week on my dirt road. So people were very commonly drinking beer while they were driving, but you're on back roads where there's nobody.
Oh, for sure. Oh yeah, I agree with you, James. It is definitely different times. Times these with the new generations and stuff. So I remember when I used to bale hay with a couple guys just off of Gray Road 3, and his dad would have a cooler sitting in the back seat of the extended cab Ford F-150. And just reach in there, grab a blue, crack one while driving, whip the empty out the window. Hell, me and his kid, which was my friend, we'd go through the ditches and find all the empties and cash them in. Well, back then it was good money doing that. Nowadays, not so much. But
It was common not to drive with seatbelts on, a beer between your legs, going down back roads. But back roads, not on highways, not on paved roads, but back roads. Because everywhere I come from, other than my particular road now, because I went and paved it, there's no paved roads. The main county roads are paved, but all the rest of the roads are all back dirt roads.
James says, I'm a 70s kid. I'm old school. What year were you born in, James?
Well, I was a '70s kid. I was 15 in '78.
75. So you're only 3 years older than me.
Born in '75.
Yeah, born in 75.
Holy fuck! I'd already seen my first Led Zeppelin.
Oh, Dave, I agree. If only we could turn back time.
I'd already seen my first Led Zeppelin concert when you were born. I was just seeing Led Zeppelin for the first time. Saw the Who for the first time right around that time. A whole bunch of bands.
75, he's a year younger than my brother was.
Everybody was on tour. I think the Stones were too. My dad took me to all of them.
How many times
Jesus.
did you go to Lulu's?
Lulu's.
Lulu's Roadhouse, Kitchener.
I've never been to Kitchener.
Never been to Kitchener. Oh, I've never been to Kitchener.
I'd have no cause to go there.
Lulu's
It's a city.
Lulu's Roadhouse is one of
It's
the
a
biggest attractions.
It's a city.
It's like going to the El Macombo in Toronto or something like that, or
Not
any of
up-
the big
not up
bars
my-
in Kingston.
Not up my way, but
Oh man, you were missing out.
we had things like the Umpa Stomp, like I told you,
yeah,
and outdoor festivals. But
well,
the
they had
big, the
some
big
wicked
bars,
shows
the
in
big
like
bars were in downtown Ottawa and on the Quebec side because they were open till 3 in the morning. The Shod, which was on the Quebec side, downtown Ottawa had the Black Swan and a few big clubs like that. But you had to go to the city, and we didn't go to the city unless it was like a really, like I saw mid-sized bands at the Shawd. Like I saw Heart there, I saw Triumph there, I
Yeah.
saw April Wine there. I saw April Wine a lot of times there. Saw Max Webster, then otherwise known as Kim Mitchell, lots of times at the Shawd. So no, we had our bars up our way. We didn't need to go to anywhere else. The bar that I do want to go to though is the Key to Bala on Lake Muskoka because it's like the old bars, and they're booking rock bands, and they're actually booking rock bands, not crappy Taylor Swift or crap music stuff. They're playing the rock bands are playing there.
James says the last concert at Lulu's for him was Gowan and
Oh,
Sad,
I
but
spoke too soon.
that's live. That's live band. That's live right there.
No, they don't have a live band. They couldn't rock.
That's a live band. They've got a live band back there,
Let
or
me
at
hear
least
it, maybe. I guess
yeah,
I had to listen to it. My hearing's bad, but sorry, I didn't mean to bark at you, but I can't hear when people are talking over. I'm trying to hear because
I heard them trying to
parts of
play
me
a
are telling
Tool
me it
song
isn't
before.
live, but parts of me, but then I wonder how they're getting power for all that.
Jeez, that's a
Because right
good
now I'm hearing
question.
the
I think.
drums, and the drums sound like they're mixed, and I don't see how they could have such a setup out there with the power they've got and have it all well mixed like that. Oh
Uh,
shit! I was gonna text Lisa and ask her. We got a live band back there. She never advertised having a live band here.
Dave said, "Glad I got to live life before technology took over." And James said, "I believe Lulu's was in the Guinness World Book of World Records for being the world's longest bar." That's possible.
Maybe
That's possible. I know,
I don't know of anybody claiming that. Like nobody around my area claims to be the longest bar or anything like that. So
but I know Lulu's Roadhouse had been home to a lot of major, big names in the rock industry.
Key to Bala might be the longest running rock bar. Like Muskoka, they've been around since like the 40s, 30s, I think even.
Yeah, but even like the El Macambo in Toronto was one of the most famous rock
But
bars.
it's only famous because one band played there, and then it was a great concert. It's the Rolling Stones. Otherwise, nobody would have heard of the combo.
More than the Rolling Stones played there.
Rolling Stones is what made them, and then other
I don't
people
know,
played
man.
afterwards. The Rolling Stones
Every
live at the
name
El
that played there.
Macambo is like one of the biggest well-known things. It's like their warm-up
Yeah, but it's
concert,
not what made the
and the
El
concert
Macambo. Come
they
on.
played at the El Macambo was probably one of the best Rolling Stones concerts ever that they ever did. So they made the El Macambo, and then everybody else came afterwards.
I beg to differ. I bet there are a lot of shows that
That's
were
early
played there.
'70s when they played there. And that
That bar's been
I had the
around
album,
long now.
the one with the pink cover on it.
Yeah,
They recorded it live there, and it is the Rolling Stones that night at the El Macambo played like they'd never played before. Like, they were really good, and they were the first big one. Nobody had ever heard of El Macambo before the Stones.
uh,
You were
my dad had been going there.
Well, he may have been going there, but it doesn't mean the whole country heard about it. The whole world heard about the El Macambo and Stones played there.
Yeah, but my dad saw
Everybody
a couple good shows there that were like big names
After,
before
yeah.
the Stones.
What ones?
I don't know. My dad's dead.
There you go.
If he was here, I'd ask him.
I'm telling you, it was the Rolling Stones that made it. They'll tell you that. Rolling Stones will tell you that made them as a concert band in the '70s because they were really big in the late '60s. Get your yayas out and all that stuff. And they came out with Sticky Fingers, and then the double album, the big one before Sticky Fingers. And then it was '73 or '74 they played, and just like nobody could touch them. There was like they said it was like one of the greatest concerts of all time was played right there in that little club, and that was only a warm up gig before playing the big stadium. It was a really big deal. I remember it famously. I didn't get to go see it, obviously. I was too young. My dad didn't go. My mother would have never let him go at that time. But lots of bands afterwards played there big time. Everybody played there afterwards.
Yeah, but I think all the bands that played there made that place famous. So it's
I'm telling you, it became famous on the radio when I was 11 years old. I had never heard of anything called the El Macambo
oh,
until that came over the radio.
James said James Brown, Chuck Berry, Alice Cooper, B.B. King during the operations from 1984 to 2000.
Yeah, exactly.
Black Sabbath.
All after the Rolling Stones. Rolling Stones is what made that club, and then they got all these big names, and they got every big name in the book. I don't think the Who ever played there. I don't think McCartney ever played there, but I mean, all the other big ones did.
No, wait,
All the big Canadian ones all played there.
are you talking about Lulu's or are you talking about the El Macambo in Toronto?
I know nothing about Lulu's.
So I think he might be talking about Lulu's because those bands I think did play at Lulu's.
Well, they probably played the El Macambo all. I mean, even the Stones did another warm-up gig there just a few years ago, back before one of their tours. I think Charlie was still alive, and they actually did another like "Welcome Back to the El Macambo" or some kind of thing. I don't know if an album ever came out for it. I never heard, but
Man, I wish that guy knew how to sing.
if you ever get a chance to listen to the CDs from the like, if you like live music, they get one of the greatest Stones live albums. Get Your Ya-Ya's out, but that was like 1969, and they were kind of a different band then. Brian Jones was still no, sorry, Mick Taylor had just joined the band. Brian Jones had just died. And they played, I can't remember where they played, but it was like, you got to hear the album. And that's like a band that's cooking on fire. Well, then their next big live album was live at the El Macambo, the pink colored one. And they ended up making a 3 album set out of that, which was very unusual for that time. But it was just so good. Never heard of Zeppelin paid there. I don't recall anybody ever saying they did, but it doesn't mean they didn't. But it's possible. Problem is Zeppelin. I mean, they went from nobodies to being like stadium people like overnight. They didn't. They just kind of exploded. Like they were there, they weren't there, and then all of a sudden they were like the biggest band on the planet.
Oh, James was talking about Lulu's.
Oh, okay.
Lulu's
Yeah,
Roadhouse has been a big. It has been a big. It was a huge bar for that.
I doubt the Stones ever played there. They didn't play probably any other night. They may have played a club in Vancouver, maybe. Like I doubt it. I've never heard of it, but everybody knows Stones at El Macambo. That's anybody that's from those days or from a Stones fan will tell you that for sure. A real Stones fan.
But Alice Cooper would have been a huge show for Lulu's. But then all the ones that James listed here, like James Brown, Chuck Berry, B.B. King, they would all been big shows for Lulu's as well. I had a couple of friends go down to Lulu's from all the way from Owen Sound when we lived up this way. My brother actually went down there with his buddy Jeff down that way.
In Ottawa, we had a club called Barrymore's, but they didn't have the big bands. Like they had bigger bands play there, like April Wine and stuff like that. But Barrymore's had a lot of top name acts, just not the top name acts. U2 played one of their first concerts in Canada at Barrymore's. I was there. It was terrible. I couldn't. It was new rock, and it was U2 wasn't very good at the beginning. They got better as they went along, but at the beginning they were horrible.
But I wasn't really a U2 fan.
I became later on in their career.
Like, I'm not going to argue that they had good music, but I was never really a fan of it.
The early stuff I wasn't, but later, like mid later stuff, I like.
We got 4 people in here. Ugh. Oh, this guy whizzing by.
Now there's Dave from Tampa just laughing because Tampa's probably had every single big band or performance artist like since 1960 or 1955. I mean, Tampa's probably had every single one and dozens of times. I know Zeppelin played Tampa at least a couple of times.
James says he did security all the nightclubs in Kitchener for 12 years. Worked a lot of these.
What was the one that my girlfriend worked at the strip club? What was it, the Grand? No. Grand Hotel is Kitchener? No. What's the strip club in Kitchener?
I think that little bugger's back, but he's going for the pizza this time. Let's watch it. Yeah.
Fucker.
Heard him rustling near the box. Yeah, put it in the truck. I'd do that now. I don't think anything else is on the this table here.
Just make sure he didn't get in there. No, he didn't.
Okay. I heard something scratching at the box. I looked over and I watched him dart down the little cross beam on the table.
Hot dog buns put away?
Yeah, they're in the bus.
Helix was another band I saw at the Shad.
Dave says he'd been to many concerts in Tampa.
Oh yeah, I mean everybody that was anybody's played Tampa. It's a big stadium there, is there not? There has been for 50, 60 years.
Oh, I'm pretty sure.
I'm sure Zeppelin played stadium concerts in Tampa. I remember specifically people saying Zeppelin was playing Tampa. I mean, I remember that something anyways. But that would have been early 70s, like 73, 74, maybe 75. I can't remember the last year they toured. Then they took a break for a while, and then eventually everything fell apart. I know the Who's played Tampa time after time after time after time. Because I'm a big Who fan, so I follow that. I follow the Who, so they're probably playing there this year. And they're on their big retirement tour. They just played Madison Square Garden last night, apparently. Or no, they're playing Madison Square Garden tonight. The Who is. Fuck, I put on this goddamn sweater and I'm chilly in it.
Hell, I could almost put my hoodie back underneath.
That's what I'm headed for right now.
Oh, Roxanne's was a good club too, yeah. Roxanne's, isn't it?
Roxanne's on the Quebec side of Ottawa. And they had a lot of bands. They played like lots of bands like April Wine played there and stuff like that. Roxanne's, yeah. Oh my God. Is there another Roxanne somewhere?
I think it was in Kitchener.
Get the fuck out of here. Roxanne's
was
legendary.
I think it's closed now though.
Oh, our Roxanne's has been closed for 30 years. It was a wild little club on the Quebec side.
Dave says the stadium, there's the Raymond James Stadium.
But what was it in the 70s? It was a different stadium in the 70s, was it not? shit. Yeah. This guy is a horrible singer. He's trying to sound British or something. I don't know what's going on there.
I hope he stops. Jeez.
It's like the punk rock bands from the States that came out and they tried to sound like British punk rock and they sounded so terrible. They thought they sounded cool and it's like, oh my God, no. Florida's a hot spot for bands because you can go there, play Jacksonville, you can play Tampa, you can play Miami, you can play what's the other one? Jacksonville, Tampa, Orlando would be another place. I mean, you can go to like all within a few hours drive of each other. A band could play like a half a dozen places in Florida and packed stadiums.
Yeah.
So Florida's a great place to have a band go play, except for the heat. Not air conditioning those stadiums, that's for sure. What's the name of that strip club in fucking Kitchener?
Dave says the big sombrero. I'm assuming that would have been
I don't know what that is.
a stadium down in Florida? Or a club down in Florida?
The Grand. Where was the Grand from? The strip club called the Grand. What town is that from?
There were a couple, actually.
Waterloo? No. Oh, for Christ's sakes, now. Anna performed at as a feature attraction at that club in Kitchener. I can't think of the name of it now, but it should just pop right into my head. I'd never been there. I was invited to go down there. I never went. And isn't that where Oktoberfest is as well as Kitchener?
Kitchener, yeah.
I never even made an Oktoberfest.
I did, not by choice, though.
Well, I would by choice if I had. I was still into all the sorts of things like that.
Oh, yeah, the big sombrero was the Tampa Stadium in the 70s.
Oh, okay. Shaped like a sombrero.
Yeah.
Okay, that's where Led Zeppelin played then. And The Who and the Stones, McCartney and Wings. All the big performers of the time, the Eagles, Fleetwood Mac. See, somebody's playing their regular music radio, and then this band is playing. I guess it's a band.
Either that or it's just a bunch
Just the
of
mix
people in
doesn't
crowd.
sound right for live. Like the cymbals, I should be hearing the cymbals differently than when I'm hearing them. You can't unless they're using an electric drum set. That would be the one thing.
They'd probably be running minimal power back there.
Well, then the cymbal.
Unless Lisa allowed live music to be played with a generator back there.
Well, it would have to be because I'm not hearing cymbals the way I should be hearing them if I'm hearing live music being played. Now I hear nothing. Actually, thankfully, stop playing. Get a different job. Randy Bachman and Burton Cummings are back together. The Guess, not the original Guess Who, most of them are dead now, but it'll be Guess Who enough with Randy Bachman and Burton Cummings. They're selling out everywhere. Fuck, I can't get a ticket. My life depended on it. The last time, probably a chance to see them. American woman, stay away from me. These eyes, do. Burton Cummings must have played Kitchener. I would bet good money that he played Kitchener. Burton Cummings all by himself.
Yeah, that's
at
possible.
that bar. Oh, I'm sure Burton Cummings would have played. I know the Guess Who or Burton Cummings separately, both of them played the album combo, but after the Stones. It wasn't long because the Guess Who broke up like a couple years later. They may have played a warm up concert tour there back in the 80s or something when they got back together. I'd have to actually search that one out. I mean, one of Canada's biggest, probably the biggest, Canada's biggest band of all time outside of Rush would be the Guess Who. So you got messages coming in.
I got one. We got 5 people in the room though. Nope.
The Grand
4.
Hotel? No,
Could be the Grand Hotel.
no, that doesn't sound right to me. The Grand Hotel in Kitchener? That doesn't sound right.
I think the fresh air makes me sleepy. Probably because I
I
haven't
know
gotten.
that's what it's. That and a full belly.
Oh, the Grand was a strip club.
In Kitchener?
Yeah.
So I had the right name then. That's where Anna featured as a stripper. I mean, she was Miss New Canada. So real name is Sheena DeJaneiro. No, not real name. Sorry, her performing name was Sheena DeJaneiro. Miss New Canada, 1997-98.
Yeah. And the Dollhouse as well. In Kitchener.
Actually, yeah, I think Anna Sheena mentioned the Dollhouse too. Yeah, but it's the Grand is the one I remember. Well, I mean, I wasn't ever there, but I mean, it's the name I remember of being the strip club down there.
Now, if we're talking about strip clubs, one that I never want to ever set foot back into again, I bet you any money James can probably peg this one because he's kind of closer to me. Can you guess the one I'm thinking about, James? It's down near Brantford. It's nearer to Brantford than you,
What
but
town is it in?
it's between Paris and Woodstock.
What town is it at?
If I do that, it'll give it away to him for sure.
Oh,
It'll definitely give it away to him for sure.
well, he's not going to guess. You could be in Quebec City for what you're asking the question.
Oh, but between Paris and Woodstock should give it away right away
Well,
for him if
how
he
many
knows it.
towns are between there?
A lot of little bullshit ones, but
There
only
wouldn't
one's
be
got
no
a strip
clubs
club.
in those ones.
Only one's got a strip club in it. And it's the worst one I've ever set foot in. It's in Princeton, Ontario.
Which?
Princeton, Ontario. I'm not going to say it too loud for him.
Princeton. Oh, it doesn't matter. He's probably not even going to know that. I worked in that business for many years, and I never even heard of the town that you just mentioned.
Trust me, you never want to set
I want to hear the name. Well, I'll probably know the club once you mention it.
Oh, okay. I'll give it away now that you say you're not sure. It's in Princeton. It's actually between Gobles and Princeton. The bigger cities that it'd be in
The name
between
is
is
what?
Paris. And it's Nicky's Roadhouse.
Oh, I think
Sticky Nicky's.
I think I've heard of Nick.
We call it a couple real sinister names out our way. It's not a good place to ever go. Yeah.
I vaguely heard
No,
of this club.
it's greasy. It's greasy.
Yeah, Sheena would have never appeared there. I'm sure of that.
I'm sure no lady that wants to be a feature performer wants to go there.
No, it's not. It's not that they want to go there. It's like the way it works is that, like in Sheena's case, she had an agent,
Yeah.
and then the clubs that this agent booked. So he'd book all these clubs, and 1 week she'd work at the Grand. Then the next week she'd work at the Sunset.
But she probably had a
the
good
Sundowner and Niagara Falls. Well, no,
a garbage agent would have sent you to
their
Nicky's.
garbage agents didn't live very long in that business.
But that's Nicky's.
An agency wouldn't even bother booking a club like that. They probably wouldn't even get paid half the time from little scuzzball clubs. But no, she never worked there. But the Sundowner was one place she featured,
Yeah.
which was Niagara Falls.
Yeah.
A guy named Chris Rudan used to own about 8 clubs down this way. He was a Romanian guy.
Yeah.
He's dead now, I think. The Rudan brothers.
Then the next worst to be Seductions in Brantford, which is now the Gentlemen's Club.
I heard of Seductions.
Yeah. Seductions was, well, when it was Seductions, it was actually owned by a guy in Niagara Falls as well.
That might have been Chris Rudan.
Could have been.
Because he owned, like I said, he owned 8 or 9 strip clubs within that, 8 or 9 strip
I
clubs
think
within
when he
that region.
died, it got sold. It got sold to another guy who changed it to the Gentlemen's Club. It was closed down for a while there between. It's not like they were closed for renovations, though. They were closed down for whatever reasons it was, but it wasn't renovations. That place is still just as greasy, too, but so is the city of Brantford. But
There was a place. What is there on Lake Erie? There's a little town near Niagara Falls called Fort something.
Shoot. I'm trying to remember. Port Colborne.
No,
That's near Niagara Falls.
no, I said Fort.
Oh, Fort Erie.
Is it Fort Erie?
Yeah, it'd be Fort Erie.
That's where Maxine's was then, and another strip club. There were 2 strip clubs. The Rudans owned them as well. Sheena featured at those as well.
Yeah.
Maxine's.
I don't know. Nikki's gave me a real bad taste in the mouth for any strip club, though. I couldn't set foot in another one myself unless I was told to.
I worked in the top strip club. The club I worked in was the top strip club in Quebec for 4 years in a row, and we won best. I don't know, best something or another in Canada 4 times in a row. Our club. We had 9. We had 9 clubs at one time.
Yeah. Oh, why can't they put the crappy music back on? Fuck. Oh, sorry, YouTube. Jeez. It's just this music's driving me nuts. This guy's voice.
That's an electronic drum set. That's not an acoustic drum set.
Who gave them the rights to the generator? We should cut the fuel line to it.
No, I can tell you right now,
That's
just
horrible.
hearing the drums now, that's an electronic drum set. I hate these new electronic drum sets. The cymbals sound terrible on them.
Well, we should go cut their generator's gas line so you can stop playing because it'll run out of fuel and give them some technical difficulties. It sucks.
Who booked this band? I haven't heard one song that's recognizable.
I bet it's just the campers that are back there. They said, "Oh, we'll play live music."
Well, even so, they haven't played any song they recognizable. And I listened to all the new rock and roll, the young bands like Greta Van Fleet and all these other ones, and I haven't heard not one song that I recognize, even from the new young bands.
I heard
who
one
is
song
this?
that I recognize.
Whoever booked this should be shot.
I heard one song that I recognized by Tool, and it was the worst rendition of it that I've ever heard in my entire life. And I love Tool. Like, Tool is one of my favorite bands from back in the 90s into the 2000s. But, like, in all honesty, I swear James Maynard Keenan himself would have probably come down in here and strangled the guy. Oh. Yay! I'll even applaud that you're done. Thank you. Anyhow, back to as they're being entertained by us being disgusted by music here.
It would be okay if it was music, but it's not music. I don't know what that is they're playing there. Sounds like all the garbage from the 90s.
Not everything out of the 90s was garbage, though.
Same droning, fucking out of tune, singing guitars. Jesus. All because they needed a new sound. They didn't want to have to try and fucking modify into something new and good. They just decided to have some shit music and put it out there and say, hey, look, this is the new thing. And the kids ate it up like they eat Big Macs. doesn't make a good hamburger just because you sell a billion Big Macs.
Well, McDonald's proved that it could still sell a million Big Macs, though.
I'm saying water's wet.
Yeah.
My point being is that they're selling a billion Big Macs doesn't make it a good hamburger.
No. Please don't sing another one. Please. Don't take requests from the crowd. They're drunk.
Well, bands rely on that if they're a cover band, so drunk or not. But these are not a cover band.
Oh, they're either a cover band or they're just five campers that got up and said they could play.
Holy fuck, this is horrible.
This hurts my head.
I think Dave just said something.
Yeah, so 60s, 70s, and 80s had the best music.
Yep. Well, there's new music that's good. It's just there's no radio stations playing new rock from the bands like Greta Van Fleet and Robert John and the Wreck. There's all kinds of new good rock, young rock bands, but they don't get the airplay because it's not like the old days.
I'm not going to disagree with that statement at all, but I do have to say there was, even though there was a great, vast deal of garbage that came out of the 90s, there was some good music that came out of the 90s. 2000s kind of screwed it, though, and it kind of took almost a decade for good music to come back. But no, I agree. 60s, 70s, and 80s did have a lot of good music, like epic amounts of music.
It's not that they had a lot of music, they invented it. We invented it. We invented everything that you hear today is just a copy of what we invented, and we didn't have people to copy. Everybody that comes out in the band today can copy Led Zeppelin, can copy the Rolling Stones. They have a guide to show them. But when our bands came out, there was no guide. It was like Glenn Miller music. Okay, they weren't playing Glenn Miller music. So there's a big, big difference. The band, this is what I say, these young bands that I'm listening to, that you've been listening to now this weekend, okay, these kids are actually doing our music, but better, but they've taken it one step further rather than just be some kind of copy or just completely make crap like the grunge era. But they're not making it big in people's psyche because nobody's listening to radio anymore. So it's like,
well, everybody's all digital now.
It's all Spotify.
They rely solely
so you're
on
picking
Spotify.
your music. Spotify isn't like a radio station.
Yeah.
Radio station, you can hear 20 different styles of music in a matter of an hour.
Well, you can get Spotify to actually choose your music for you, but in a lot of times you don't want that to happen.
I was telling you about my release radar. That's where I learned about all the new music.
Yeah, but in a lot of cases you don't want
but it's
Spotify
not.
to pick
It's
the
still
music
not.
for you.
It's still not the radio.
No.
Regular radio.
No, but there have been some good music I've heard that's been new recently through Spotify that I found it. But like, there's also a lot of garbage that's still out there in this world right now. There's a lot of garbage music. Like,
people can pick what they want to listen to. They don't get it just thrown at them like they used to get on radios. So as you're driving down the highway, you're listening to a radio station, a song comes on, you're suddenly grooving to it. Oh, it's good, right on. And then the next song comes along and it's totally different band, and it's either good or it's terrible. But I mean, you got that. Now when you go into Spotify, even with Release Radar, it's still using an algorithm to show what you like. So why I'm getting all the new 60s and 70s style music that the kids are playing is because the algorithm has picked up on what I'm doing.
yeah.
It's not natural like with a human DJ just playing what he likes and making hits.
No, you're right.
It's all changed. It's not anybody's fault. It's just the way things went. But I mean, bands don't get exposed like they used to. You know, you Dayton, Ohio, some radio station starts playing Stairway to Heaven for the first time, or I Can't Explain in Detroit for The Who. Then next, the next town radio station starts playing it, and the next one, and the next one. All of a sudden, that's being played all across America. That's how they got so big.
Yeah.
That's why the bands and all that, they're not near as big as the bands were back then. Well, so they sell billions. Yeah, but you're in a population of 8 billion. They were still selling millions and billions when there was like 4 billion people on the planet.
Yeah.
So the numbers are totally skewed. So when the Who sold 10 million albums, that was in 1970 when there's like 2 billion people in the world. Well, if you were to make those numbers now up to 8 billion and do the Who's numbers against that, you'd have sold 100 billion albums. So no, nobody's even come close to these bands that, band like the Rolling Stones, entire tours sold out all stadiums, 75,000 people apiece. You don't see that anymore.
No.
And say, well, yeah, sure. Yeah, okay, Taylor Swift will sell that on 5 stadiums and then the rest of it not. Okay, the Rolling Stones would do 60 tours, 60 dates, and they would all be sold out at 75,000 people or more or whatever. Like, it's a different, people don't, the numbers are skewed because of the population difference in the world. I remember Led Zeppelin 1 and then Led Zeppelin 2 in particular, Led Zeppelin 2 especially. You could not go to someone's house that they didn't have that album in their house. And I remember when it came out brand new with Sam the Record Man.
Yeah.
And I mean, you could not go anywhere. Same with the Beatles. Like the last 4 Beatles or maybe 5 Beatles albums, you couldn't go to someone's house they didn't have that. Today you could go to lots of houses, and I mean, they won't have the same music as 3 houses down. It's not the way it was back then. There was a lot less bands, there was a lot less people, but the penetration was much deeper than it is today. Way, way, way deeper. So, that's why these bands are so legendary, is because they made a deeper penetration and a bigger mark on people, because it's just radio. Radio was the thing.
Yeah.
If you didn't get a hit on the radio, you didn't get anything. Now you can not ever get a hit on the radio and become somebody. Like that fake band that everybody's talking about, the Velvet Sundown, whom I actually like, even though it's completely an AI band. I can't believe how good it sounds for an AI band, but it sounds.
Yeah, but now
it's like fireworks.
Yeah.
That's in the sand dunes.
Yeah. But now the worst part about it is I can take 2 pieces of software with my phone.
Guys?
I can go into 2 different apps on my phone and download them, and then I can create a song that's there, put it on Spotify, and if everybody in the world loved it, they'd be like, "Oh,
it's already happening." Just look up the Velvet Sundown. That's what's happening.
But see, that's the problem. Now they're creating. Now there's music that's being created and being taken over by AI.
You know what? No different. The AI is no different than the people that sit in there and program Taylor Swift's crap music for her. Okay, yeah. And it's all programmed by people on computers. There's nobody playing instruments or anything probably anymore.
Yeah.
There's bands out there still doing that, but I mean, so for me, the AI thing, I'm kind of mixed feelings about it. But I figure, well, what's the difference? You go into a studio, you record your parts, then you slam it all together with a computer and make a song. Well, the AI is just doing the same thing, just without people in the band actually writing the music. But then it's still human beings writing the music. The AI can't just write the music without a human programming. So it's kind of like writing the music anyway. Like I say, I'm kind of upside down on that, because this young band, this AI band, the Velvet Sundown, I've been listening to them on Spotify, and it's pretty freaking good music. And I'm going, that's all AI, not one human, not one. Like, there's 4 of them with 4 fake faces.
Yeah.
4 AI generated faces, and AI generated album cover, AI generated this. You would think it was an album made by actual people. It's almost impossible to tell the difference. My ears, as fucked as they are, can tell the difference.
Yeah, so, but AI basically takes
what's Dave saying? He said something else?
He's saying the same thing I'm bringing up a point of. He says the music back then had meaning back then. And that's the thing. Like, AI is taking the meaning out of the music, though. But in the case of AI, but see, in the case of AI is taking that feeling and meaning out of the music.
Well, but it isn't, because it's still people programming it, so they're putting their meaning. So when the person goes, say, okay, I want a song that's going to sing about me and my girlfriend breaking up, and because she threw a plate of spaghetti at me, blah, 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 blah. Well, next thing you know, the IA is creating the song around what you've already typed into it. I
based
say
on
there's if this had been 1967, there'd be a difference. But now music is, even today's rock music is all computerized, programmed music. It's not, the days of that. That's what it sounds like nowadays. That they don't know how to play the music. Some of these kids that I've been running across, yes, but they're like outliers, basically. Like they're way out of the edge because, I mean, okay, everybody. Did you hear Greta Van Fleet?
oh hell yeah,
Okay,
hell yeah.
but you never heard that other band that I was mentioning. I lost my fucking train of thought now. One of the bands I was playing, Robert John and the Wreck, you've never heard. But so I mean, there are bands out there, but the majority is all the pre-programmed computer shit that is made that makes it sound like they're really playing everything.
Yeah.
And it's been like that for quite some time. If you look at Beyonce's and stuff like that, does she even play an instrument?
No, fuck.
Does she? I'm not insulting
No,
Beyonce. I'm just saying, does she even play an instrument?
She's lucky
No,
if she
she's a
even writes her
vocalist.
own music.
She's a vocalist that's singing over pre-programmed, computerized, created music.
Yeah.
Now, when a band actually does it, or an AI guy programs it, they get all hot and not about it. Well, this is no change. It's just now it's done a different way, and it's going to change again. It'll change again for sure.
I just hope for a lot of people's sake it changes and goes back to the way it was, where people actual human beings put the effort towards the music.
Well, most of what I've been playing you for the last 3 days here is exactly that.
Yeah.
But it's not easy to find because no radio stations are playing that.
No.
Like, how often do you even listen to radio stations anymore?
Ah, fuck. If I had a radio station, if I had an antenna on that thing, I would.
Well, but
I do listen to Sirius XM radio, but
But you don't listen to a local DJ radio station in, I guess, Brantford would be the place.
Some guy stole my antenna off my Ranger pickup truck. I can't listen to radio.
Most people are not listening to.
Most
people are listening to Sirius XM, where your music is not really like a radio station. It's all choose your station,
choose your genre,
choose your genre, which defeats the whole the whole point of radio.
Not
when
really. I can go on an 80s rock. I can go on an 80s rock station on Sirius
defeats.
XM.
Because
and it'll play all the good stuff from back in the 80s. Then you do the 70s.
But you're not getting. What I was trying to get to was in the 70s, a radio station during, let's say during the day would play top 40 rock songs.
Yeah.
Okay, so Foreigner and Journey and Styx and all these other bands.
Yeah.
Then around 8:00 at night, some radio stations would start playing just the blues for a couple hours.
Yeah.
And they would play jazz. You were exposed to all kinds of genres of music, not times.
Yeah.
Music. So that you had this, so the people that when they did form bands, they had all this influence coming into them.
Yeah.
And that's why our music was so good, because everybody was inventing it and they were listening to each other. And even music they necessarily didn't, they like, oh wow, what's this song? Oh well, this is jazz on, because jazz went over, like in Ottawa, we used to have a guy named Brian Murphy on Sunday nights would have Jazz 106, and that'd be like 3 hours of jazz, Blues 106, 3 hours of blues. So I mean, here I am listening to all the top 40 rock, and then on Sunday night I'd turn on blues, and I would discover Stevie Ray Vaughan.
Yeah.
Was I discovered like that? Well, my dad did, actually, not me. It was my dad that discovered Stevie Ray Vaughan in our household, but because it was being played on Blues 106. But that doesn't exist anymore. It's gone. So you don't have radio stations that are exposing the general public. Like, you listen to a radio station, like we used to listen to radio stations 10, 15 hours a day. And you get exposed to reggae, you get exposed to rock, you get exposed to Jackson 5, to everything, and it all got mixed up, and that's how people learned to. But now you don't have that anymore. It's all too specific now.
The thing is, though, don't get me wrong or nothing. The thing is, though, is like, if it weren't for some jerk off crackhead from stealing the antenna off my Ford Ranger, or this thing not having an antenna, I would listen to the radio as well. Like I still listen to Q107. I still listen to this.
The general, most people don't anymore, and I'm saying that you probably, when 20 years ago, you probably listened to the radio twice as much than you do now, even with or without an antenna. Okay, if you had the choice, people just don't. They go to Spotify or they go to Sirius XM, like you're doing. I've never even been on Sirius XM. I've never even bothered with it. because I'm trying to recreate the actual DJ radio experience with Spotify the best way that I can. Not successfully, I'm going to say all the time, but you have to have a human DJ that likes to play what he wants to play, and he influences you sometimes for the good and sometimes not so good. So, but I mean, those days are gone. Those radio stations don't exist. Even radio stations changed like 30 years ago. They became pre-programmed, lists. There was
Yeah,
no
they play
live
a
DJ. It's just
set
a
list for
computer
like
playing the
8
music.
hours of music, and that's it.
Yeah. So, I mean, you weren't getting all the selection that you were. Like somewhere between the 80s and 90s is when it all got fucked with.
What now?
It doesn't sound like the same singer until he starts screaming again.
Like I said, I think it's just a bunch of campers getting up there and singing. I've heard this song, but yet again, it's butchered by this guy to the point where I can't place my finger on what the song is.
Is anybody even watching anymore?
We've got 4 people in here.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
assuming Dave and James are still in here. I would like to assume they are. If you guys are, just jump in the comments there and say something. Yell at us or something, like, seriously.
Yeah, because I'm kind of getting tired of fucking making up conversation just to make up conversation. I could go to my tent and lay down and just cruise and get buzzed and not think about any of this bullshit.
Do you think you could sleep through that?
I'm not. Well, I could, yeah.
I
I
probably
just don't
could.
feel like having, sitting in front of the fire having a discussion like this.
Oh,
Boring.
James says he's just listening to the conversation. Dave says he's still here.
Fuck, James, it's fucking boring, man.
Pop up into the conversation. Make some conversation for us. Like, seriously.
I'm
You
ready
guys
to
are
crawl
part
up.
of this too,
I'm
right?
ready to crawl up to my tent and say to hell with this. I have to listen to that guy's crap music. At least I can turn on Apple Plus and watch one of my TV shows.
Hell, I'm almost seriously thinking of hot wiring the damn antenna in my bus just so I can get some radio in there.
You don't need to. You got Spotify, don't you?
Fuck. If I want to listen to something, if I want to listen to the same regurgitated stuff, I'd listen to Spotify. But like, just my playlists are so regurgitated, it ain't even funny at this point. Spotify has become boring.
Your own regurgitated playlist would be better than anything than this guy's playing on his live music.
Yeah,
I
probably.
mean, you chose your own playlist.
No,
so.
you're right about that. James can even hear it. And he says, "Yeah, it does sound bad. They're all drunk. Doesn't sound good.
No, they're not drunk.
Good.
Too early yet for that, probably.
They're all drunk. Doesn't sound.
Don't use drunk as an excuse. They're just horrible players. They have no talent. Drunk's got nothing to do with it.
Well, it might sound good to some of the crowd, though. But
if you don't believe me, I'll say one name to you: Keith Richards.
Keith Richards predates Adam and Eve, brother.
Keith Richards came out of his mother drunk and stoned and could play a guitar.
When God said, "Let there be light," and Adam and Eve saw light, they saw Keith Richards and said, "Yo, who's he?" And God said, "I don't know. He was here when I got here."
I guarantee you one thing: anything involved with Keith Richards, they didn't say "yo."
No, but I'll tell you right now as well, though. Keith Richards himself probably would live longer than a cockroach in a nuclear blast. That man will never die. I don't think he will die. I honestly think he is immortal. I do. That man is immortal. And even if he does physically die, he is still immortal.
Well, Mick is no slouch himself.
He's deadly.
But Mick isn't the stony that Keith is. But Mick is no slouch. I mean, he's still up there dancing like he's 80-some years old, still dancing like he's 20.
Yeah.
Fucking crazy, Mick Jagger. I don't know. I watched his training routine for a Rolling Stones tour.
Yeah.
And the one he just did a couple years ago, and like they had the YouTube video up doing his training routine. I can't believe that he does. I cannot believe the stuff he does at that age.
No,
so
I know.
It's literally impossible.
Like I said, I never knocked the Stones. The Stones are deadly. Like, And James agrees too. He's like good old Stones. Hell yeah. Oh, is it who we think? Is it? Is it? Is it? Or is it security? Probably not. Oh, oh.
Probably Joe or security.
It's probably Joe. Yeah, it's Joe.
No. How can you tell it's Joe? You can't see it.
It's a gator. It's Joe.
No, yeah, Joe.
Well, it could be
that
anybody.
JD guy
Yeah,
or
it could
whatever.
be JD
I was
too.
gonna say you
Yeah.
can't tell it. You can't see it.
James is asking about a quiet time. In our campsite, being that we're bordering the group section, we have to abide by the 11 p.m. to 7 a.m. rule. However, once you cross that border into the opening for the group section, they could go all night.
Yeah, but they're not anal about the 11 o'clock thing here either. They let people play music louder than you would ever hear it at a provincial park or any of these other anal retentive parks here in Sauble.
Yeah, the only time you'd really be like jammed up on the 11 p.m. thing is, let's say, being that we're as close to them as we are, we would get jammed up on the 11 p.m. if someone a site or two down from us heard us and wanted us to keep
That's
quiet.
simply not true. For years, we came here and we were down at Site 16, the one I showed you there,
Yeah.
and we could play the music fairly loud after 11 o'clock. You just couldn't blast it like we've been doing.
Yeah.
So, like I said, you can play your music significantly louder after 11 p.m. here in this campground, no matter where you are in the family section, than you would at a provincial park. You'd never like if you'd never get away at the provincial park even after 11 o'clock here in this area.
Oh no. I've been finger wagged at many of the provincial parks for even talking.
For years, Norm and I came here and played our obviously ghetto blaster, but
Yeah.
the ghetto blaster that we had, Norm and I always brought music with us.
Actually, come to think about it, I got kicked out of Pinehurst for practically farting after 11. You weren't allowed. Sure, they come right by if you.
Pinehurst not so bad because if it's wavy, you hear the lake more than you hear anybody's music.
Oh, the Pinery would be awesome, but no, Pinehurst Lake down Brantford, down Paris. No, I will never go back there again. Never again. Brant Park's kind of similar, but they're provincial parks or like conservation local to the area, county conservation.
I've never heard of the provincial, the one you're talking about.
Oh, those two are county. They're Brant County.
So I know most of the provincial park names from A to Z here in the province. I haven't been to most of them, but
James was kicked out and trespassed from Elora Gorge. Really? Seriously? That's nuts. Was it for noise violation? When he was a young man. LOL. Oh, come on. You're still young. You're only 3 years older than me. You're making me sound old now. Jeez.
fuck, I'm 62 and I'm dating a girl 50 years old who looks like she's 30 and built like she's 30. She's gonna harm me.
Gotta watch out for the youngins.
She hasn't called. I'm so surprised I haven't heard from her yet.
She will. Like I said.
Yeah, so wait till I lay down and I'm just dozing off. It'll be bring, bring. Fuck.
I think I almost want to go down there and grab that bass from that guy and play it. I'd be afraid of the tendons in my hand screwing up, though.
Well, I wouldn't touch that drum set with a fucking 20-foot pole. I don't play electronic drums. I play acoustic drums, and I don't play anything. Fuck that electronic shit.
Let's
Sounds like shit. It is shit.
snatch that bass though. Any minute, I would.
Oh, Mr. Cadillac, man.
With his bright LED tail lights.
What time is it?
It is 9:35. Well, 9:36.
Oh, good.
Yeah. James says, haha, I mean, I love a good tune to go to bed, but I would lose my mind if I was there. Dude,
I can once I go in, I
I
put
can
on
tune
my
it
TV
out.
show. I'll put my TV show on loud on my phone and I'll ignore it. I wish the fuck I'd brought my earphones. I don't know what I was thinking.
I can tune this out if I was actually going to go to bed or whatnot, because I'm pretty sure that the fan in my diesel heater is a little bit louder once the bus door is closed. But I'll tell you right now, it's definitely nerve wracking listening to this while I'm wide awake.
They won't be playing that late, anyways. They only have so many songs they could possibly play. So
Yeah, but then they
it's a
just go
live
back.
band. They
to
won't be playing as late as the DJ was last night.
I'm hoping they get tired soon.
No, it's not that they'll get tired; they just run out of music, or what they laughingly call music.
They just seriously slowed down the tempo, or it's starting to really get to me.
Thinks he's the Doors now.
Well, he sure as hell ain't
Jim
no Les
Morrison
Claypool.
just puked.
Jeez.
Snare drum sounds terrible. God.
You talk about it all sounds terrible.
No, I'm just talking about the quality.
No,
of
I
the
know.
instrument.
Did the mouse come back? No, I think if anything, that mouse probably crawled into the bush and died from listening to the music. Oh. I was hoping that was over. So out of it.
He's got a reggae sounding snare on a rock song. It does not sound right at all.
Bigfoot isn't behind you anymore either. No, I think Bigfoot took off to the hills. I think he ran out in the sand dunes to hide, bury his head in the sand from his music too. I could say so many things, but I think it would violate community guidelines, and I don't want to do that to you. Yes, the song's over. I don't even hear them cheering for him. Woo! If this is the song I think it is, oh. James says, I'm sleeping just watching your fire. Well, the fire is kind of mesmerizing, isn't it? It just sort of almost lulls you to sleep. And then you hear that music, and it's like, wakes you back
I'm
up.
starting to think I'm ready to shut this down for the night. I've about had it.
We might. It is a song I was thinking about. And God, he's butchering it too.
I think I want to go lay down in my tent.
Yeah.
I've had enough.
Well, if you want to shut her down, let's make the announcement and call it. James, you have yourself an awesome night. Get some sleep, get some rest, do something crazy tomorrow, and see what goes on.
Yeah, man. We'll talk soon. I'm gonna go watch Apple Plus television. Something. I've had it for the night. Leave site.